We're live. But they're commercials, so I can't do it during music because Facebook kicks it out.
Copyright.
Do you know that if we have the windows open and someone's driving by and they're playing loud radio, I'll get kicked?
My husband does he'll have a bonfire, and then his buddies are like, "Oh, I want to join the fire," so he'll go Facebook. And if you have music playing,
It's ridiculous.
he got Facebook jail for it.
Huh?
He
Yeah.
got Facebook jail for it one time.
It's nuts. I've never.
Yeah.
Holy balls. There are people in there like crazy, and we haven't even said nothing yet.
Oh yeah. Cool. But now with my kids.
Do you know if you wear the headphones, you'll be able to hear what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't know if I like these.
You don't have to wear them. I'm just saying it'd be.
Well, I can hear you.
Huh?
I can hear you. You can't hear me when I do this?
All right, well, so much for Rich Waslick. I don't even know if he's coming back. I have no idea. Couldn't tell you.
Uh-oh.
So now we have Victoria Robinson Lewis, or is it Victoria Lewis Robinson?
Robinson Lewis.
Jeez, do we ever know?
But I just do Robinson.
So you're Mrs. Robinson.
Yes, I've been Mrs. Robinson for a long time.
I just realized that. I swear, I just realized that you were Mrs. Robinson. How have you been?
Good. Yep.
So this is your second time here.
Yes.
And what made you come back? Or are you okay? Or do you feel comfortable?
You asked me to come back?
Oh, that's true. Well,
Because you're kind of desperate. So...
I am not desperate.
Hello.
I am not. You are not. You're not part of the desperation.
Well.
I mean, now that you've pre-gamed, so you're pretty lit already. You know, at 8:39 in the morning.
Yeah, sure.
What is your choice of beverage?
I'm drinking tea this morning.
No. If you're going to pregame or let it loose.
Tito's.
Tito's? Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, totally Tito's. Yeah.
Which one? Any certain flavor?
They only have one flavor.
Oh, you know what I like? I like the cucumber flavored vodka that are like, it's like, the mules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they will sneak up on you and boom.
You know what's really good? It's that cucumber vodka with club soda. And then you take sliced cucumbers and you put them in there with lots of ice. And you muddle it and you put a little mint in and muddle that all. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
It's very refreshing. You know, it's not one of those heavy drinks. And,
right.
And you can drink like 9 of them.
Yeah.
Well, if you make 9, you can make it to 9 of them.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
You use short glasses and make them.
Screw that. So one thing that we kind of talked about off microphone already, which I think is, and it's really the title of what I've done here for this morning, and I'm actually saving the image now because I want to go ahead and show it. There was every year there's the VJ Day Parade. And this year, and we know that things are getting more and more political, even more so. I mean, it just keeps going on and on. And Laura says Tito's with lemonade.
Ooh, yum.
See, there we go.
There I go.
We've gone alcohol.
Tito's goes with anything.
Does it?
Yeah, whenever my kid buys like an Arizona or like a Monster, I'm like, ooh, that would go good with. And he goes, yeah, Mom, I know, vodka.
I can't have any kind of Monster drink or anything like that.
I can't either.
My heart will stop.
Yeah, I get too jittery.
I ended up drinking a Monster drink once, probably about 10 years ago. And I mean, I ran around like a nervous squirrel.
Yeah.
For about half an hour.
Yep.
And then I crashed.
That was it.
That was the end of it all. So you actually, I know you've seen this picture. I haven't put it up yet. Now, I've mentioned it before. I'm a registered Republican, but on here I don't like to go back and forth, right? But this really, really kind of tweaked me up. So I put it up on the board.
I don't think you have to be a Republican for this to bother you.
No, I know.
I think any person who's concerned about where our country's headed would notice this. Like, this was a picture that, well, I took it.
Yeah. Oh, you actually took this picture?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But I took 100 pictures while I was at the parade.
Sure.
But I did take a picture of that. And then it was funny because somebody else in another town took the same picture and posted it online. And I was like, wow, so it wasn't just me that it bothered.
Yeah. So I guess no matter what, why is this picture okay?
I don't know.
I mean, why is this okay to be in a parade? This is, I don't think it's acceptable whatsoever. I don't know what the Democrats were thinking.
I don't know.
The Democrat committee in Plainfield,
I would assume, yeah.
And okay, it's okay to have your views, but to put this in a parade in front of young kids and everything, this is ridiculous.
Well, and this is what they're doing: is kids are getting dragged into all of this, and it's not an issue that kids should be worrying about.
Yeah,
that's part of the problem with kids nowadays. They worry about too much because parents, adults involve them in everything.
Mm.
I know. Mind blown.
Vote as if your loved one is an immigrant.
Yep.
Your daughter is a. Yeah. So you just lost me there. I actually lost me on the first one.
Yep.
Your child is unsafe in school.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Are they also speaking to personal events that happened?
I have no idea.
You can't afford housing. Okay. Apparently, up to this point in the sign, go ahead. You're about ready. You're chomping.
No.
Come on. No. Come on, Victoria.
No, not doing it.
Somebody drop off some Tito's for Victoria, please. Your skin is not white.
Yeah.
So they are blaming Republicans for that.
Mm-hmm.
Your sibling is gay.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Who the frick thought this was okay?
I don't know. But you can see Lamont's name is next to it on the...
I'm absolutely freaking appalled over that.
Yeah. The only thing I did agree with is where on the bottom, the last line.
Yeah.
Vote as if your life depends on it.
Yikes. All right, so I have to get into my group because somebody's in here as Facebook user. So I got to see who they are.
That's what I don't like about this. I can't see the comments.
Well, you can.
Turn it on.
The problem is that it says right on the thing you got to click that
right.
your name can be used if you're not in quote unquote group. Well, it's Madeline. It's Madeline Garner.
Oh.
It's Maddie. So yeah.
Oops.
Here we go.
Sorry.
That's okay. So I'm going to take the picture down just for a minute so we can talk about this, and we'll put it back up in a little bit so we can look at your lovely face there, Victoria.
That's all right.
So the comments are coming in already. All right. Wow. Yeah, this is tweaking people. Let's see. First comment. Oh, there it is. Yep. Laura says Tito's with lemonade. Oh, no. Let's move on. June Gagney. Okay, I have to comment on this poster. It shows that they have no real platform. I mean, if Roe versus Wade was not overturned, what would they have to put on the poster?
Exactly.
Maddie, I'm pretty sure we all know who wrote this on the DTC. I don't know personally, so. She goes, my dad was one. Him and his parents came here legally. And then she says, disgusting.
Yeah, it really was. Well, and back to the Roe v. Wade. Yeah, it was overturned on the federal level, but it was put back on the states. So we need to get over that. Like, the state has the option to choose.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be a platform myself, but.
Do you think a lot of people are upset about that because it sets a precedent?
No, I think a lot of people are upset about it because they don't understand what it even meant.
Okay.
Like, people think that abortion is illegal across the whole country because they said so. And that's not what happened.
I think, right, it didn't.
No.
But I also think a lot of people think it set a precedent for other things. Like, for example, in different states have trigger laws that, when the Supreme Court votes on something, it triggers laws within their states.
Right.
Connecticut, not one of them.
Right.
But even the states that do have those trigger laws, they've already pulled them back.
Yeah.
So, Kathy says, if I was on the fence, this poster would push me away from the party who created it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I mean, I was there, and like I said, I took 100 pictures probably. And the Republicans, they were there, and they had signs like who was running, and there were no statements like that.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
Let's see. Laura says they're basically saying all Republicans are responsible for these stigmas and controversies.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? I mean, you hung yourself. You basically put yourself out to dry.
Well, and one of the platforms that the Democrats had when they put the gentleman in office that's in office was, we're going to unite the country.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to close the divide. How does this close
it? Opens it.
This makes it worse, and that's what they constantly do.
So if anybody is part of the Democratic Party, that is responsible for this sign, if you want to come in or, talk about your side of this, I would love to hear it. And I would certainly give you a platform to go ahead and explain why you thought this was a good idea.
Yeah, I'd love to understand why that would be a good idea.
It sucks.
I can't figure it out.
June says, I also have pictures of this poster. It shows they really have no platform to go on. Maddie goes, they didn't educate themselves, just following what they hear.
Well, and that float had Ned Lamont sign on it. And, I mean, how does he feel about that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that how he feels?
No, I should probably send that up somewhere.
I think so. Just ask the question, like,
how do you feel about
is
this?
this your stand? Tell Connecticut how you really feel.
Yeah. Sarah says the problem is that it has become acceptable in society to use any stage as a megaphone for a political agenda, regardless of the audience.
Yes, but the VJ Day Parade has always been about the veterans. And I was surprised to see it. I was surprised it was allowed.
Yeah.
Because I know they do check floats.
Yeah.
Because I used to do it with the Marine Corps League, and they would come around and check and make sure everything was the way it should be.
I just think I think for a parade, to me, parades are supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be just interesting and happy and whatever. Like I remember the VJ Day Parade when I used to live on Lake Street in Moosup when I was a little fat kid. And I'm serious. And there were clowns, and this is, I mean, they were like, I was scared to death of clowns. I would hide behind my mother's chair, literally, because they to me they were like evil, like, you want some candy? No, I don't want anything from you. But they did. And my mother was like, oh, it's okay. My mother loved clowns. I hated clowns.
Yeah,
So Stephen King's It was even more scary for me. But you had the Shriners, the little cars.
They were there.
I know, but what I'm saying is they've been in it for years.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the stuff I remember.
Yeah.
Marching bands.
Yep.
People waving and saying hi and stuff. We wave back. I don't know who you are, but hi. And this is not parade material. I mean, if you have a platform and this is what you want to say, okay, fine. You have freedom of speech. You can say what you want. But this is not something I want like my 9-year-old kid to see.
Well, and it goes back to involving kids in adult issues. Yeah. That's part of the problem with society nowadays.
So Sarah, I think you're exactly right. Regardless of the audience, that was not the audience for that. Laura says, why can't they focus on what they are doing to make things better instead of focusing on the negativity?
Well, I have my own opinions about that, but that's political.
That's okay.
Maybe they're having a hard time finding anything to.
You're allowed to have your platform, just like they are allowed to have their platform too.
Right.
I just don't agree. This is not the place for it.
I know. Well.
So we're gonna go on the other side of the coin here. Ready?
Yep.
All right. Brian says, "Morning, Brian. Hey, women, stop voting against your own interests. Republicans are responsible. They voted Trump in, who illegally stacked the Supreme Court with conservative judges. This was one of his plans and goals."
That's an interesting opinion.
Okay. So that's an opinion from the other side, of the coin.
What was it about women?
Hey, women, stop voting against your own interests.
Yeah.
You have a comment on that? Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You are here to make comments and rip it up.
I think women are finally getting to the point where they realize that maybe this whole feminist thing was a little bit of a mistake, and I think people are trying to get back to the way things used to be.
Hey, Court.
Hi, Court.
Hey, I love your shirt. I've
That's
got
an
your
honor
back.
at a bad back club.
Is that from a chiropractor or?
No,
No,
my
that's-
kids found it.
Because
Actually, no, my
I've
wife
got your
found
back.
it.
Oh, your wife did?
Yeah.
That's great.
How you do?
Good.
Victoria, have you guys met?
No.
Okay.
Well,
Oh yeah, on the chat.
On the chat. Come on in, Court. All right, let me fix the cameras here. Court Kinney is here now with us as well. It's good to see you.
Today's topic.
Well, okay. Careful on that chair, because that chair may be.
Oh, it's a little loose.
Yeah. Victoria, I'm going to ask you to move over a little bit. Move your chair over.
do you want a chair?
I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good. Thank you.
There we go. Just want to make sure we got half of Court's head. Hold on.
You want to stand up so we're kind of the same height?
No.
I stand up.
Nope. There you go. There we go.
So did you already get into the topic of the day?
Yeah.
Kind of.
And I'm gonna go over it again before we get into any more comments. So Brian, I'm gonna take this one down, but I'm gonna put it back up again. So we're talking about the VJ Day Parade in Moosup. And there was a sign that was in the parade that, can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're commenting on that, going back and forth on that. And to me, it's like, all right, well, if you have a plot, if you have your beliefs, okay, fine. But to me, that's not the place for it. To run that kind of sign through the entire town and having young kids seeing it, and
Right.
I just think that is unacceptable. I don't think anybody's views are whatever. I mean, your thing is your thing. I don't really care. Because my thing is fine, and if
Right.
somebody doesn't agree with me, okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But then there becomes like, well, what about the platform that you're using?
Now, this sign was part of the parade?
Yes.
The parade?
That
Oh,
it was a float for the
Right.
Democratic Party.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did both parties have representation in the parade?
Yes, they did. And the Republicans didn't have anything like that.
Mhm.
They had, the regular signs that you put in your lawn.
Right.
Heather Summers.
See, to me, it's not even it's not even. It's not even a Republican Democrat thing. It is just that's a bunch of shit. Putting that, in the parade. They're just, and you had sent this to me.
Yeah.
And you were like, what do you think, Court, about? I'm not asking you. I think about what the content
Right.
of the sign is, but do you feel like this was appropriate or inappropriate, or you can say I don't want to answer. You don't have to.
I believe in freedom of speech, first
Yeah.
off.
Well, and we had mentioned that. Yeah.
I think there should be parade rules. And I think maybe that's where they should have looked first.
Yeah. Because that's one thing we had mentioned too, is like, who let this go?
Yeah.
Who? Because because I would think even some of the people in their own party are ticked off about this.
Because Griswold also had a parade this weekend for the Griswold Fire Company.
Right.
And it was
75th anniversary, which we can talk about in a bit.
that was just a celebration. There was no political
No agenda.
leanings. No.
The VJ Day parade shouldn't have any agenda. It's a victory over Japan.
That's
That's
right.
really all that it is.
Yeah.
And they can have floats and information or whatever. And touted as being what? It's the one of two, right? There's two in the country now that have VJ Day parades, 2 towns. Because I had heard that Plainfield was the only one, but then I heard there was one in
I
Ohio.
think there is 2. I think there are 2.
See, I'd heard one before.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I think
Me too.
they say that, but I think there is another one.
Okay. If that's what it should be about, not
Right.
this. Not this at all. All right.
Celebrate the veterans, celebrate
Yes.
the end of the war.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go through some of the comments and let's see whose skin crawls. Sarah says, I think it's appalling. Donna says, I agree with you. And Brian, who had mentioned he was the one, but Court, I'm going to go back to a comment and read this to you that Brian put up on the board. No, because
Nothing like putting you on the spot.
no, because you just walked. We talked about it, but
Okay.
you just walked in when we were. But I wanted to see what you thought.
You saved the day.
That's
Hey.
to be seen.
It says, "Hey, women, stop voting against your own interests." That's only part of it.
Mhm.
Okay. Republicans are responsible. They voted Trump in, who illegally stacked the Supreme Court with conservative judges. This was one of his plans and goals. I don't think this sign was his plan or his goal. Personally.
That the sign was Trump's goal?
It just says this was one of his. I think what Brian is saying, and Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, is that it was because of that administration that really started to separate people.
I think the separation started long before that.
I agree. I agree. I think it's been gradual for many years.
Absolutely.
All right, go ahead.
So if Trump stacked the Supreme Court, how do people feel about the fact that our current administration focused on female, black, you got the job? I mean, how is that? if you're gonna say that one did it, this one took it even further. And
Gotcha.
a lot of the staff with this administration was chosen because of gender identity, whatever.
Mhm.
How is that different?
Oh, he was fulfilling a campaign promise when he did it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There you go. Let's see. All right, Brian continues to go on and say it's not an opinion, it's a fact. This is what transpired, and I am not conservative or Democrat. So
I think all of us have a little bit of everything. I
Yeah.
think when they try to put people into categories and titles is how they divide.
Yep.
We have more in common than we do apart.
then why don't we focus on that?
Because of things like this. It's in your face constantly now.
If we do agree with more things than we do not disagree on, why do we constantly go for the negative instead of the? Is it just because it's
easier to criticize?
Yeah, or gets views, gets people clicking on things.
It's easier to criticize than to fix things.
That's a good point. Brian, we'll talk about this at the next family picnic. It's Melissa's brother. But you know what? I mean, regardless, I mean, he has his opinion and he's
Right.
welcome to that. Shayna, you haven't met Shayna yet, have you? From the illest? Shayna,
Well,
the
just-
illest?
I've chatted with
She's
him.
the illest,
Yeah, yeah.
What the is the illest? We even know what that means?
Yeah.
Shayna, you never explained, I don't think, what is the illest. But she is that. She goes, morning, y'all. Judges, are there any good ones? I feel we've been in bizarro land with bizarro politics lately. Just saying.
Yeah.
And she goes on to say, Democrats, Republicans, I just feel that the two wings are the same bird. Maybe it's just breed division. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Got a bird, two different wings. Which way they fly?
I don't know.
Keep everybody off balance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Madeline says, you sound like one. I don't know what you mean by that. Oh, I think maybe she may be commenting on Brian's comment of I'm not a conservative or a Democrat. And great point, Court.
I answer to all names.
Do people call you Kurt?
Occasionally.
Do they really?
Courtney, you name it. The list goes on.
You can't be Courtney. Then you'd be Courtney.
It's actually Courtland.
Cortland, yeah.
Portland.
Is that a family name?
Yes,
Okay.
but I didn't get it because of the family name.
How did you get it?
My mother liked the name. She had no idea it was a family name.
Really?
Till she brought me home from the hospital and my grandfather
Really?
said, hey, that was my grandfather's name.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Because I've never met anybody named Cortland.
Actually,
No, I haven't.
I know someone.
Do you?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Perkins.
What's the last name?
Perkins.
Okay, because I know Banker,
Yep.
Babcock.
Yep.
There's a couple of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, there are.
Actually, there's another Cortland in Griswold.
There is.
Yes, he's in the school system right now.
Oh, who's this?
That's. I'm not going to say anything
All
else.
right. But you're already getting kudos, man. Look at that. Great point, Court. Let's see. Dave Polino is back in the fray. He's back from vacation. Dave's our friend from Hamden
Yes.
who pops in all the time. So, and he's back.
With the Special Olympics.
Exactly. See, Dave, people know who you are. So, I don't know. I think we've kind of beat that up a little bit. I don't know where else we can go and make any more points unless you have something to say, Mr. Kinney, on this, or
I don't, if you're gonna go back to Roe versus Wade, if that's what this all goes
I think
back
this is
to,
where it stems from. Do you not, Victoria?
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Kinda, sorta.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
this is the latest thing that people can
Yeah,
really grasp
yeah,
onto.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
I don't understand why that was tackled this season.
Hmm.
It just,
I don't either.
it didn't make sense.
No.
But quite frankly, if they want to put it to a vote, they should put it to a national referendum for women to decide. Men can't vote.
That is really an interesting idea.
Yeah.
What do you feel about it? You're a woman, so how do you feel about what
I
you
am
just
a
said?
woman. I was born that. I was born that way too.
Oh boy.
My peepers say it. I mean, they left it up to the states. So I don't know why it continues to be
An issue.
an issue.
You're like trembling over this. You're like
No, I'm just, it's frustrating because every time you turn around, something is political, something is a major issue, and it's things that have been around for a long time, and all of a sudden, it's an issue. Monkeypox, we can't call it monkeypox because it's racist.
I know.
Are they
How
changing the name?
the-
They are, yeah. They're trying to change the name because they said monkeypox, the word, is racist.
And how? The monkey, they're offended, they complained, like,
Well, what about chickens then?
Right,
know.
right.
With chicken pox?
Equine
Exactly.
encephalitis, my horses are offended.
You know.
Where does it stop?
Bird flu.
Yeah, where does it stop? It's getting to the point of like ridiculous. It's past that point.
So when you talk cancel culture, right?
Mm.
And you know, all these things that can and cannot happen or whatever, why do we still call it Chinese food?
Don't say that, they'll change it.
Spanish food.
Yeah.
Soul food.
Mm.
Can't say that, can we? Or we can. Because if we
We
said,
don't know yet.
'Cause if we-
Nobody's complained yet.
but if we said white food,
Oh god.
whoa, 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 whoa. Right? Am I being melodramatic with that? Or
Cracker Barrel. Hello.
you just win the
That was a
internet.
good one.
You won the internet today.
Just saying.
Oh God. Richard makes a good point. He says, "Well, men can get pregnant now, right?"
Not really.
There's a
No.
story. There's okay. Let's move on.
Sorry.
No, there.
A real
You
man.
can't-
No.
You can't convince me. There's no way.
Yeah. There's a story that was out that, matter of fact, Melissa told me about. She said it was a husband and wife, and they each flipped. So the wife became the husband, and the husband became the wife.
Why?
And then the male got pregnant. So now they're saying men can also get pregnant.
But he was a woman.
Maybe
If
he
you
was
have-
non-binary.
Doesn't
I
work
would
that
just
way.
say, how?
Yeah.
That's,
I don't. Go ahead.
If you don't have the female reproductive organs, you can't have a baby. So if you have female reproductive organs, I can't even talk. Organs, that means you're a woman.
She's drunk, Court, already.
I am not.
No, she's not.
Stop it.
Okay, all right.
God.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, if you can produce a baby, that means your internal organs are female.
Right.
That means you're female.
Right.
Right. See, Court and I agree on this.
I knew. I kind of figured.
I mean, really.
So Dave Polino says, we had a fundraiser last night at a local restaurant, and there were people out front protesting our local congresswoman, excuse me. It was weird. We don't know why she was at our event, and we have no political affiliation. So you have the Special Olympics, who's doing a fundraiser, because I don't think Dave's doing this for the Polino family.
Right.
It's a Special Olympics thing. So why would there be somebody out there protesting?
To get seen.
Yeah. Numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers. Now I didn't hear about this one, but I don't doubt it. June Gagne says the latest. They want to cancel the Catholic Rosary.
Why? What's behind that?
I don't know. I'm not Catholic, personally. My dad is. I was raised Catholic. It's his belief, and his belief is his faith, and he has a right to that. Just as anybody else says, right? So why would they do that?
The rosary of all things.
If it bothers people,
Don't do it.
don't do it.
Or if it bothers you that much,
That's
don't
what I
watch them do it.
Exactly.
Jesus. Ooh, I'm sorry.
I was raised Catholic as I go off.
Yeah. Like I don't understand a lot of the Catholic rules, but I guess I don't have to, because to me, my own personal opinion, to me, it's not about religion. It's about faith and what you have faith. I don't care if you have faith in a broomstick, it's just you have faith in something that.
Bigger than yourself.
Yes, exactly. So I don't know. Local author DM Foley, good morning. She says Roe versus Wade was only addressed this year because the law in Mississippi was challenged and it worked its way up to the Supreme Court. If that law was not challenged, Roe v. Wade would have stayed.
Okay. Good to know.
Shayna says Cracker Barrel. Yes!
I love that place.
And she goes, how are you going to take out the rosary? They just want to strip every bit of God off of this planet. That's the plan, because if people do not have hope, they have nothing. I think that's an interesting way of looking at it. It's like you said, Cory, it's like something bigger than yourself.
Yes.
Right? And hope isn't hope almost bigger than yourself too, because you have hope in something. Right. Just as the AR-15 rifle has become a sacred object for Christian nationalists in general, the rosary has acquired a militaristic meaning. This is way too deep for me, June. Go there.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. And DM Foley says good morning. Good morning. Whatever happened? Yes. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
No.
Whatever happened to the separation of church and state?
That went out the door when men started having babies. How can you even ask that?
Wow, you are on fire this morning.
I told you this could be.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Oh my God.
Sorry, we won't be on the air tomorrow. My wife's gonna be in labor.
I have enough troll accounts that I can still do this show, so I'm okay. But a lot of participation today, and lots of comments, which is
Sad
really
thing
cool.
is, people can be offended at anything. They can find anything
Sure.
to be upset about.
And it's always been like that, right? I mean,
Yes.
but not to this degree. I know of people that were offended of things when I was growing up. Okay, fine, but they kind of kept it to themselves, or they may say it, or you'd get someone go like, "Well, I don't know about that." You know what I mean? They didn't really kind of express. They would just kind of.
But now they have an outlet for it.
Yeah.
Social media.
Right.
Yeah, I think social media, even though I utilize social media really for my own career, is evil. It's downright evil.
It's definitely changed people
The
though.
voice of the voiceless,
They kind of blame it on COVID about because people were home, all they had was social media, and that's how people lost their filters. Because you can type out a lot.
Yeah.
And you don't have to stand behind what you're saying because nobody knows who you are.
Exactly. You can troll anybody,
Yeah.
you know, and you can say
Yeah.
whatever. And I do want to go ahead and, you know, put it out there once again, is that if there's anybody a part of, and I don't even want to say Democratic Party in Plainfield, because I don't know if this is a Democratic Republican thing. I think this is just an asinine thing. You know, whoever put this sign up. If
Well,
they want to,
that was on the Democratic float.
I understand, but
That was theirs.
right, but somebody should have said, no, this isn't right.
Well, yeah.
So I would love to talk to somebody who said, yeah, that's a go. And I'd also like to talk to somebody, you know, or have them on the show defend their position on why that was okay to put what they put on that sign. And who said, okay, I would really, really like that.
Yeah.
But you know what? They probably won't stand up. You know why? Because they're getting hammered. So, you know what, you know, or you may get somebody in here by the name of John Johnson.
There you go.
Some, you know, that's a real name. You know, and start, because you can't really trace it back unless you get a warrant. Then you can't trace it back.
Sorry, I was ill prepared for this because this was the first I heard about.
No, you know what? Honestly, we're not any more prepared than you.
Yeah.
At all. This was a picture that Victoria sent to me last week.
No, just the other night, Sunday night.
Oh, was it Sunday night?
Yeah,
Okay.
The parade was Sunday.
Yeah. And I'm like, and then you saw the comment I sent back to you, which is not appropriate for me to say here. But yeah, so it's not anymore. It just hit me when she came in today. I said, well, you know, this is a subject that, you know, we're both kind of had eyes on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty good. Good morning, Joey. Joey, how are you, Joey? We get there's more and more people that are joining our morning chats from my nighttime TikTok group.
Oh boy. I've seen some of your nighttime TikTok.
Oh, come on, they're fun. They're fun. And they're good people too. They're very kind. Angel Hopkins, or online it's Hopkins Angel.
There you go.
See? That's a troll account. You don't want anybody that see? I tuned in late, but I hope you bring the lady on the show more. Meaning you.
Gee, thanks.
You get people that agree with you and they're saying, you know, see?
We could do this together. We don't need Mike.
You know what?
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Kidding.
I'm
so sensitive.
No, I'm not sensitive.
Don't be offended.
No. You know what? You know how many, I don't know if you've heard, but I've told Paul Lash, literally for years, I want somebody else to do this.
But you're good at it.
I want somebody else to do this.
But you're good at it.
Revert back to,
You're good at it.
I want somebody else to do this.
Doesn't work
You know?
that way.
I know.
No.
I don't want to, you know, I don't want to facilitate it. I mean, it's fun and it was fun for a while, but I think it's now somebody else's turn. It's been somebody else's turn. No?
You're fine.
In 6 months you'll be
You're
going,
fine.
I'm going to be over on that side and I'm going to be ripping it up.
Nope.
You
get up too early in the morning for me. I'm
No.
not. This is not my. I would afternoon. You want an afternoon show? I'll come do an afternoon show every day. But this, no,
you know what? That's
too
funny
early.
because that's been talked about.
it's too early.
You did a few afternoon shows, right?
At the beginning.
Yeah.
At the beginning, yeah. And I wouldn't mind doing it again. I've almost thought about just foregoing the mornings and going and putting one on in the afternoon.
See, I enjoy your morning show because when I'm sitting at home, I can drink my coffee and
Right.
take care of the animals while I'm listening. But to get here for 8:15 in the morning from Sterling,
Yeah, I know you did better than me.
I had to do all my chores this morning. It takes me 2 hours.
Now, what do? You just take care of the animals?
Yeah,
And
I have horses too.
Yeah. Okay.
And dogs, and the dogs can't all like go out at once. They have to be.
Do you show your horses?
I
Or
used
did
to.
you,
I
or-
don't anymore. I'm too
Do
old for that.
I mean, do you write English or Western?
Both.
Because my daughter has been doing shows since she was, well, she's been riding since she was 5. And she's 31 now. And she's.
It was the best thing my parents ever did, was get me into horses, because I was so focused on it. There was no trouble. Like, I never got in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I was horse crazy.
Yeah. My daughter, there's just something about, a girl on her horse,
Oh yeah.
so, but she has, I can show you, I've got 2 huge bags in the back, of all of, like, a lot of her ribbons. It's just amazing. So she boarded her horse in Sterling for a while.
Yeah, he had said that.
Carousel.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Shayna has a name for our new afternoon show. If we have to. It's Afternoon Delight.
There you go.
That's a little kinky. It can't be Afternoon Delight with Mike and Court. That would be weird. That would be weird. Especially if you read it wrong, you put a comma there. Afternoon Delight with Mike and Court. No.
There you go.
No, that would be. So we've had some views from both sides of the coin. On this. Brian had brought up, different points that he thought were valid. And other people, have valid points or points they feel that are valid. I personally, just kind of like wrap this all up in a ball. I don't think that was at all appropriate for a parade. If you want to have your views and you want to go ahead and speak your views, you have freedom of speech.
Right.
But I also think that there is a time and a place, to go ahead and speak those certain views. For example, I'm not a fan. And I'm talking about just as a parent. This has nothing to do with being a Republican or a Democrat. I don't agree with somebody driving a pickup truck with 2 flags in the back of it that says
Yes.
F Biden, but with the whole word.
Right.
Okay, if you believe that and that's your thought, then more power to you. But I don't think that you should be driving up and down town because you have freedom of speech and I'm going to do it. Would you sit there and do that in front of your parents? If you were 19 years old, would you sit there and do that? Or if you were 15 years old? You know what I mean? Is it the time? Is it the place?
Nowadays, they probably would.
Well, let's go back 30 years, 40 years. Would that be acceptable? Hell no!
I wouldn't have dared.
Ho!
No, they would have been pulled over and
Yes.
parents or whoever would have been called.
Yes. So
Yeah,
why is it
it's
acceptable now? It's so and I've seen the person that drives the truck. They're part of our generation. I don't know why that is okay. It's okay because of freedom of speech, right? So that makes it okay, right?
I think people have gotten to the point where they're really frustrated with everything that's going on, and they're just reacting to it, and maybe not the best way. And to Brian and his Trump comment, I did vote for Trump, but I also believe that there should have been duct tape for his mouth at times and for his fingers
Most of the time.
to keep him off Twitter. But you can't take it away from him. Our economy was fantastic when he was in office. A lot of people got opportunities they wouldn't have had if we didn't have Trump. That was just bothering me. I had to say.
No, that's fine.
But I mean, just because I am a registered Republican doesn't mean I'm that far into it.
Yeah.
I don't believe that, every word that came out of his mouth was the best choice of things to say.
No, you're right.
But
Melissa and I had that talk many, many times.
But our economy was great. The rest of the world, everybody settled down. Nobody was threatening anybody else because we had Trump. God only knows what he was going to do. So now look at us.
Mhm.
Everybody's flexing their muscles, and our president has corona again, or monkeypox, or God only knows what. 'Cause
Can't
he's
go on
hiding.
much.
He's hiding somewhere.
He's getting his batteries changed.
Yeah, he's on vacation.
In a country of 330 million, this is the best we can do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought that too. You know, during the election, like these are the two
Well,
best
and-
people in this country that can do this. I'm like,
What are they gonna do next? Like, I'm really interested to see what the next
Chuck
stunt
Schumer!
is. Yeah. Like, what's your next stunt?
Pelosi. Ugh. Go ahead, Corey. Go ahead.
Come on.
She's way too old, and that's not
So
derogatory
Biden.
against older people.
But so's Trump.
Well, she's older than he is.
Yeah, I know. But Trump would be what, 80 if he ran again, and Biden's 106? I don't know.
I think they're only a year or two different.
Yeah, and you're right. You're right, actually. Go ahead.
Maybe there should be an age cutoff. Or you have to pass a mental and physical fitness test, mental acuity.
The like for example, in like the Jewett City Savings Bank, they have it in their charter that you have to, if once you hit a certain age, you're done. When you hit 72, you're either going to retire or we're going to say thank you. Here's your golden watch,
Mhm.
your gold watch, and you know.
Well-
So, for example, Lou D'Amico was the chairman of the board for many years for the Jewett City Savings Bank. He still runs his business. Obviously, he's a smart businessman.
Right.
You know, people know him throughout town. I saw him walking last night as we were walking the dogs. I mean, he's very intelligent, but because he turned 72, he can no longer be the chairman of the board. Doesn't mean he's not worthy of doing the job or couldn't, because he is. You know, so why can't, that's to your point about, you know, hey, look, maybe we should do stuff like that. I just think that Trump and Biden are too damn old to be doing this job. Paul Lash sits here, 78 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I said, would you? He goes, no.
Mhm. Well, you can see the toll it takes on each of them after
Yeah.
they've served a term. There's usually a significant aging.
Well, look
Yeah.
at Obama. I mean, he aged a lot when he was in office.
It's got to be stress we can't even dream of.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sure. I'm sure. Am I? But I wouldn't last a day. I wouldn't last a day. Not that that would ever happen, but I'm just saying. Shana says, I don't like the advertisements on vehicles, i.e. Brandon. I think I think people are just mad and don't know how to express themselves.
Oh, that's very true.
I'd rather see Brandon than see F.
Yeah.
I mean, because Brandon's a little easier for me to explain to my granddaughter than the more
Explain.
colorful language.
Well, explain that to a 9-year-old kid playing soccer named Brandon.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
You know what I
We
mean?
have friends named Brandon.
You know, it's like, you know, you can't go, come on, let's go, Brandon.
Right.
Oh.
And now you can't say that.
Can't even say that. Larry, good morning, Larry. Thanks for joining us. Says, don't want to hear about a president on vacation when the previous person was golfing on our dime every weekend. It's a good point. You know, either way, Trump was golfing all the time, didn't care. But go ahead.
Biden's going to Delaware every weekend.
Yeah. But the bottom line is, I'm going to go back to what you said earlier. The economy was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Back then. So it's like business, right? Numbers don't lie. I don't give a crap who's there.
Yeah.
You know, in the presidency and, you know, the American economy is sick. We've prospered under Republicans. We've prospered under Democrats. It's just, that's it. And now we're down here as opposed to being up here. So who gets blamed? Well, the Democrats, because the economy sucks right now.
That was a pretty harsh hit.
You know, I'm not saying it's not.
And they keep saying, oh, we've created this many jobs and unemployment's at historic lows. Well, because you reopened
That's it.
and everybody used up all their unemployment benefits.
People had to get back to work.
Yeah, nobody can collect unemployment because they don't have the working quarters or whatever you need to collect.
Right.
So how can you say you did this? You didn't do.
Yeah, they can't, you mean working quarters, meaning they can't rate your unemployment
Right.
money or your rate
Because
that you
nobody
will get.
worked for 2 years.
Exactly, because they go on
So that's why the numbers are so low. People can't collect.
it's a rolling 52 weeks, right? And they go on to,
they do quarters or something.
yeah,
Like
they go to your highest grossing quarter in the last year out of 13 weeks.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But if you haven't worked for 2 years, then you can't collect.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess you can twist anything to make it
Sure you
like
can.
you're doing something good. But how long are people going to fall for that twist? And I think that's the point we're at now. People aren't falling for it anymore.
So, all right. So, Ronald Reagan, good president or bad president?
I'll say one of the best.
Okay. I would agree.
Probably.
Okay.
Mm.
Bill Clinton. Now, we're going to take away, hold on. We're going to take away Monica Lewinsky or any of that personal crap or whatever. Just judge him on his presidency and how the economy was when this president was in office. So, you were going to say something about Ronald Reagan, and I think I chopped you off.
No, I was just going to refer to my age at the time.
Uh-huh.
You know, becoming an adult and getting to vote.
Yes.
And I just think he instilled a sense of pride in being an American, being part of this country. And this country can do great things.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. Right? I mean, most people remember that from back then, right?
And I'm not looking at each individual
Right.
policy that he worked on. I'm looking at the overall effect
Body
he
of
had
work.
on the American people.
Yeah. What about you? Good president or bad president?
Who?
Reagan.
Oh, I thought he was a good president, but I wasn't paying attention to politics back then.
Okay, and that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair, and I don't think so either. But now that I look back at it, hindsight is 20/20.
Right.
So, all right, Bill Clinton.
Oh, I can't get past the whole.
Okay.
As president, I think he was a decent president.
Mhm.
On a personal level, that's a whole different ballgame.
Oh yeah, I think he was a decent president, absolutely. But I also think he was a dirtbag as a person. He was a dirtbag.
Yeah, and it's hard to get past that dirtbag thing when you're a woman.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. George W. Bush.
Mediocre.
Okay. Nothing really to. He was kind of like he was there. So what?
Yeah, but he was another patriotic American, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is service and all, but
yeah.
I don't think he rose
No.
to the occasion like Reagan did.
Reagan,
or
exactly.
as much as Clinton did even.
Yeah.
They reached out to the people.
They both had showmanship.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bush didn't.
No, he was more of an administrator.
It was more like Lyndon B. Johnson. Well, that's a different subject. But I mean, he didn't really have any pizzazz either. He was just very dry. Nixon had. He had no. I'm talking about having, like stage presence. He had stage presence. And
Nixon?
Nixon did. Oh yeah. I'm not a crook.
Well, that stage presence was developed over years
Yeah.
of people playing that part.
It's like Spiro Agnew. Anybody remember him?
Yeah, as vice president.
Oh, see now I bet you half the people don't even remember who Spiro Agnew is. Do you remember Spiro Agnew?
I remember the name.
Okay.
Now, he had to resign.
Yeah. That is absolutely true. So did Nixon too. Jimmy Carter. Do we remember Jimmy Carter?
Good man.
Yeah.
Bad policies.
Okay. Fair. Very fair.
Not very presidential.
Okay. Barack Obama.
Tremendous showman.
Okay.
Excellent speaker.
Okay.
And that's what he was a showman, though.
Isn't that so?
So I don't know if you ever caught it when we were talking. My son was presidential. He was a Marine.
Yeah.
So he was with Obama at Camp David
Wow.
for 4 years.
Mhm.
Wow.
So I have a different insight.
Sure.
I think he put on a good front.
Okay.
I don't necessarily agree with all his politics, but
So is it fair to say that most memorable presidents had showmanship?
Yeah.
And the ones you don't remember they were just kind of like Jimmy Carter-ish.
Yeah.
So you got to be an actor to win this job, or a businessman. See, I think that's what really threw this
I
country
think
on
a
its
businessman
heels.
is what we need. I've always thought that,
And
and that's why I like Trump.
I think that's what threw this country back on its heels a little bit, because they weren't used to the straight up politician anymore. You know, he didn't give a crap. He was going to say what he was going to say. He's going to go golfing, because I got people to do this, and I'm, whatever. I delegate the hell out of this, and then we'll figure it out. That's the
why
difference.
It shouldn't be career politicians.
Okay.
That's why I would challenge anybody out there that's in Congress, Senate, even at the state level. Does anyone out there have the guts to push for term limits?
Yeah, why don't they do that? Why has Chuck Schumer been in for over 20 years? Why?
The public wants term limits. If they represent the public, they're not doing their job.
Pelosi, yeah. Pelosi's been in there how long?
Forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
And
Enough to get her husband off in a drunk driving charge.
yeah,
Public service in that regard for politics should not be a career that you
make money.
become wealthy doing it.
Yeah, especially when you're supposedly only making, $50,000 or $100,000 a year,
How about 28?
and you've got
It's a whole different ballgame at the state level.
yeah.
Do people at the state level become politicians at that point? When they want to move on to different things?
I think maybe even at the state level, people stay in too long.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think? Like on the state level, what do you think is a good term limit for, say, a representative, state rep?
First of all, I think the 2 years is too short, state level and federal, because they spend half their time campaigning for re-election. So do the same as the president, make it a 4-year term.
Okay.
And you could serve 2 terms.
Okay. So 2 terms, that's it. So 8 years, you're saying.
Or at most, if they want to make it match with the Senate is 6 years, senator can serve 2 terms. If the congressman had a 4-year term, they can serve 3. Make it 12 years max, but set some kind of term limit.
All right, Larry says, no mention of Mitch McConnell, Kennedy, or Graham.
I'm saying in general, anybody.
Well, we didn't forget them. We're just bringing names up. So
Nobody should make a lifetime of being there and padding their own pockets, serving their own interests, because after all, they're not serving the public.
So when does it become self-serving after how many terms? 2?
It could happen in the first one.
Yeah.
That's why we have elections.
So I don't know why, if people want term limits, then why do they keep electing the same people in?
Because we don't have a choice. Most times the incumbent has all the backing.
Right.
It's very hard to upset an incumbent.
How many people go to the polls and they vote strictly on name recognition?
I'm sure a lot of people do.
Because they don't have any idea, they haven't participated in anything. They go, oh, this person looks good, or oh, I've heard this person in the news. Don't know why, but I did.
Right. I recognize that name.
Yeah.
Or they haven't researched what the person is standing up for, what they support, what they want to do. Because it does take some research. You have to dig into what this candidate is looking to do.
Larry says term limits. They should have the same retirement as we do. Social Security and healthcare, Medicare, and Medicaid.
Absolutely. 100%. No special treatment.
And Shana also, who is the illest, says, I think many people vote like that, meaning fill in the blanks. And I think during the last local election last year, when selectmen were being, voted in and out, in Griswold and Plainfield, exactly, it was a red wave, or
Right.
but if you look at Griswold specifically, and I have said this a few times, and I don't really know if people, I don't know if I've really gotten any feedback on this, but as far as the Board of Selectmen is concerned here in Griswold, right, we have pretty much a new look. You have Dana Bennett, who's the first selectman.
Mm-hmm.
You have Richard Matters, who was our second selectman, and then Scott Babbitt, who has remained on the board as third selectman.
Right.
Does anybody know who Richard Matters is? Now, I never met the man. I know who he's related to because somebody told me that they were related to them. I went, oh, okay. I heard about his career.
Right. He was first selectman in Franklin.
Yeah, for like 20 years.
I know.
A long time.
Yeah.
But before that, really, he's on the ticket here. Right? Really campaigning.
Right.
I don't think anybody saw him out at any of the like coffee hours or whatever.
Right.
I mean, there are reasons for that. Well, I did get a chance to meet him. This is post-election. Nice man.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice man. And just a nice guy. But did anybody know who he was? Did you know he got more votes than anybody?
Right.
And same thing with Mary Beth Malin on the Board of Education. I mean, everybody knows Mary Beth, but what I'm saying, those are the two biggest vote getters in Griswold last year. So it's like, so there's somebody that's prominent like Mary Beth, you know who she is. Then you have Richard Matters, who really nobody knew. And he was the second, no, he was actually the first, he was the highest vote getter in the town.
Mm-hmm.
So were people voting for Richard Matters, or were people voting because they wanted to change? They wanted Republicans instead of a Democrat.
That's what happened in our town.
But you guys won though with Cunningham. Oh, well, you're talking Sterling. That's right. Oh my God.
Town.
Holy moly.
We have Link Cooper.
Yeah.
Who I just love.
Mhm.
He's honest. He loves our town. He's very patriotic. He's very open. I think he's doing a fantastic job.
And I don't think really for local politics are concerned, I don't really think myself that being Republican or Democrat means a whole lot. I think
No, I voted for Democrats
Sure.
before.
Yeah.
I mean,
myself, I can't remember any time that I've ever won party lines.
Well, you're not working on a national agenda. You're working on local items that need to be
Yeah.
addressed, and you're looking for the benefit of the community.
Yes,
right.
exactly. I think a lot of politicians, Democrat or Republican, are sitting right on that aisle.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be affiliated maybe to somebody, because if you run as an independent, probably not gonna.
It's difficult, right?
Exactly. So I don't know. I think, like I said, Richard Matters. The funny thing about him, and he got voted in. Congratulations, but he was probably the most qualified person to be on that board, and nobody knew it.
Right.
Nobody knew it. He was definitely the most qualified as far as what his history is and what his experience has been. Do you agree or disagree with that, Corey?
I don't know enough about him.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I'm saying that. Oh, go ahead.
I haven't even made it to any of the selectmen meetings. I go to enough other meetings and just trying to still make a living. So getting out to the selectmen meeting is usually not possible.
I mean, I'm not sitting here, high-fiving the guy. I'm just saying, as far as what his history has been.
That's why all the meetings need to be streamed.
Yes. All towns have that issue though. They do.
Well, of course, when things come out, they put it on Grizzled Now because everybody goes to Grizzled Now.
Not me. They're
Yeah.
already on.
Where's my dog? Where's my cat? Atlantic broadband sucks.
Oh,
Did you hear that loud bang?
we had
Why is
a
the room closed?
planning and zoning meeting last night.
Those sirens? What?
Nobody showed up.
But any big topics?
Oh yeah, we were having discussion about the whole cannabis thing and affordable housing, and nobody shows up.
Last Board of Education meeting here in Griswold, not yesterday, but Monday previous. There was one, other than myself, one resident.
Yeah.
That was it.
Our meetings are like that. We don't get a lot of people unless, well, during mask we did.
How long has Sterling had planning and zoning?
15 years. 20
Is it
years?
that long?
Yeah, it's been a while. We don't have a lot of regulations. I mean, there's a lot of things we need to pick up the pace a little bit
Mhm.
because it's kind of a free-for-all at times. I'm trying to be really nice here.
Well, no, it is what it is.
And yeah, we have some work to do.
Because I know Sterling for a long time did not have
Right,
planning and zoning
right.
board.
No, we have inland wetlands. And actually, I think the inland wetlands has more regulations than we do even. So, now we're working on cannabis. Huh.
We did.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, they did. Well, I guess the last thing I want to mention, I don't know if you guys want to say anything in closing, but I just want to make it known that if anybody is watching this or sharing this to any of your friends or relatives and letting them know, go, do you hear what that jerk Minarski said? Anybody that has anything to do with that sign during the parade that we were talking about, that I found appalling, honestly, myself. I wouldn't want any, if I had small children, to see that or whatever. I think, no. Anyway, if anybody has any, they want to talk about it,
Yeah.
they're more than welcome to come on the show. You won't be disrespected. We'd be more than happy to find out why you thought it was okay to put those types of statements on a public parade. Like I said, won't be disrespected, but I would love to get somebody else's opinion. Any thoughts?
I think that's key, is having respect to be able to have dialogue with that courtesy.
Yeah.
But there's a time and a place for things.
Exactly, and I think we spoke about that too. I don't think that was the time and place for that. Anyway, all right, Larry, you said where's the sign? Honestly, just go scroll back. After we're done, or scroll through, you'll see at the very beginning, I posted the sign and you can read it. It was a sign that was being displayed through the VJ Day Parade in Philadelphia over the weekend. So, all right. Well, I think you did a wonderful job.
thank you.
See, and you did as well, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was late.
No, and it's
8:15.
I will say.
I was like, really?
I will say what I think is. Oh, by the way, people that are messaging me saying send me the pic, I'm not gonna have time to send you all personally the picture. So
Just post on SNS.
no, they
Oh.
go through the broadcast. You'll see it. It's at the beginning or everything. So yeah, definitely. Go. It's there. You can find it. I'm not going to send it to anybody personally. Sorry. Because if I got to do it to one, I got to do it for 100. No, I'm I'm like, people are asking for it. It's like, no. So anyway, you guys are, this is your first shot really at, working on a talk show. Isn't it just like having a conversation? It's really,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
yeah, it's really, see, I'm glad you guys are here. I really am. So, all right, tomorrow, Paul Ash will be here once again. And thank you very much for joining us. Victoria, thank you. Court,
You
thank
have
you.
to find him a shirt like this.
Oh, I love that shirt. I
And
got you
then
back.
Rich.
Yeah, both of them need it.
That would be awesome. Like that'd be what a marketing play for chiropractor.
Right.
God. Have a good day, everyone. We will see you once again tomorrow morning with Paul right here on SNSN. Goodbye. You guys did excellent.
I did not read the whole sign. I was just
Oh
starting
my
to read the
God,
first
it
two
was so
sentences.
bad.
So I need to look at it
It
because
was